been a while. Look how tan you are. I'm catching you live in action, and I'm turning it off. We'll record right now. All right, so give me my notes.
Yo, what's going on, man? How are you?
All right, we're rolling now.
We are
okay.
rolling.
All right. So I figured, I guess this was your idea, or kind of both of our ideas, like a new format in a way. This
Yeah,
essentially.
I get tired of the goon look standing in front of the TV.
You're not a goon. People want to see you. It's the mustache, you know. But I figured this is more like our normal interaction anyway.
Just like being on the couch at home.
I mean, I guess we've never been on a couch together at home.
No,
but
that would be weird.
But we always have our chats off camera anyway. So I figured,
Yeah,
why
we're
not
always
do it
saying
this
we
way?
should record our chats all the time. That's
Yeah.
probably more exciting than some of the other stuff we see. So.
And I'm getting visions now of like how we're gonna get like a neon sign over here. We're gonna start like a new podcast show, and we're gonna
Oh yeah,
call
with
it
the black
something.
curtain there and everything.
All
hanging
that
down.
stuff, yeah. And we're gonna set this all up real nice. You're gonna have your mic. I'm gonna have. It's gonna look all
We'll have to
professional.
do it at that table over there.
I guess we can, but I just think it
That'll
might
be-
happen. It might happen. We might do it.
All right. Whatever.
Pinning you is hard to pin you down, but
Usually a lot going on.
you're a very busy man. It's been a month since our last.
At least a month, I think, right?
Right.
Maybe two.
Yeah, you've been very busy. Banking crisis definitely put a
Yeah.
stop to the availability for the both of us.
Yeah, things got a little nutty after that.
I would say they got a lot nutty, and I wanted to get your take on the whole situation because, from my standpoint as a content creator, I instantly, and I know other guys who I talk to, instantly saw tremendous growth in the YouTube channel, and that's because people are fearful. They're seeing banks collapsing one after the next after the next.
Yeah, I would be too, honestly.
Yeah. So I just YouTube search, and so I from that standpoint I saw a lot of just a big push in subscribers, views, and so on. But from your standpoint, I'm just very curious as to like what was going on in the shop for that 6-week period.
There were people, same thing that you were just saying. People were concerned about their money sitting in a bank, and you hear signs of, or you see on the news where somebody goes to the bank and they have a sign on the door saying we're closed. That's a little alarming.
Yeah.
I get that. So a lot of people are starting to realize that they need to be diversified.
Right.
So people were going to the bank and pulling out money and buying metals and along with other commodities, that kind of stuff. And it was a little nutty there for a while. It was a lot of volume.
Yeah.
A lot of volume.
Did you see one particular demographic over another? For example, like, were you seeing like older people coming
Middle
in,
age,
or
I would definitely say you're middle
right?
age.
Not so much the millennials, not so much like the people that are in the mid-20s or 30-year-olds, but you're looking.
I would
at
say probably
50
maybe
plus?
mid-30s to maybe
Oh.
mid-50s.
Okay, and that seems to be the demographic of my channel. That's the
Yeah, I
bulk
mean the
of
people
the
who
watchers.
that are along in their careers that have likely put together a little bit of money from whatever reason. A lot of them have homes. That kind of demographic.
What were some of the biggest fears aside from, people just worried that banks are going to close and that really that's just like the tip of the iceberg for the rest of the economy? But, were the people coming in here with like any particular concern over another that was like that the reason that they were buying more silver than gold?
A lot of good questions. Like, all right, so if the economy did totally go flat, and I wanted to sell my gold back, how does that work? So, I was pretty much saying that, and I still feel that. I don't think the U.S. dollar is going to go away, like altogether.
Right.
They'll still be using the U.S. dollar in some form or means, regardless. And even if it does totally go where it's useless, we're going to trade in something. We'll be trading marbles.
Right.
We're going to find something. There'll be a means of trade.
Right. I one of the philosophies that I've seen in terms of like that whole type of scenario, like that whole SHTF or just like another a major economic crash or what have you. In particular, there's the one YouTube channel like the Dave Ramsey podcast, he's one of the individuals that is against, buying any sort of silver and gold. Like his channel, just really says stay away from that. Buy land or buy stocks and things like that.
I think he's more an investment type of a channel. Whereas when you're buying gold or silver, it's more of a preservation of wealth. Mm-hmm. I think people tend to buy gold and they want to see a benefit or a profit right away. It's really not that. When you're buying gold or silver, you're locking your wealth in time.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter if the dollar goes up, dollar goes down. The gold is going to have the same buying power the day you bought it as the day you sell it.
Right.
I think that's more important to pay attention to that.
Yeah, the only difference is the amount of dollars that you may get at that given time.
Yeah, the gold might be worth less paper dollars or
right.
more paper dollars, but at the end of the day, the same paper dollars are going to buy the same thing of the day that you bought the gold.
Right. Yeah. Some people, and I've seen videos where people are saying like that metals are horrible to put your money in. I've seen some videos where people are like, this is like the worst possible investment that you can ever get involved with.
You know what? I think these people are getting the big bang for a big buck real quick, and I think that's wrong because, over time the metals have definitely appreciated. They continue to appreciate for sure. It's been a solid, steady ramp in the positive direction.
Right. I actually have, and I'm going to be doing a video because going back to Dave Ramsey, like I saw a video recently where he was saying like if you look at the charts for the stock market and then you look at the charts for gold, he was saying that gold is far more volatile than the stock market. And I'm looking at them over 100 years, and you're seeing them both essentially having the same similar trend. Yeah, looking at the last 10 years, last 5 years, and I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, if you're pitching a certain thing, of course
correct.
you're gonna be biased in that direction.
Right. And people will say, essentially silver and gold pushers dabble with like fear and fear mongering to get people to buy the silver and gold.
I'll be honest with you, I don't do that. When people come in here and they're concerned and they get into the whole doomsday type of thing, I'm like, look, that's not me. You know what I mean? I'm like, look, this is what it is. Yeah. The reason that you want to buy metals, again, is it's a preservation of wealth.
Right.
Those funds will always be there.
Right.
With stocks, with banks, with any of these kind of things, there's a possibility that one day it's not going to be there.
Yeah.
You're literally the stock market crashed in 1929. It was, guess what? That created a chain of events.
Right.
Why is that not possible to happen again? That didn't happen with gold or silver, though.
Right. And also the people that are saying that gold and silver are a horrible investment, it's kind of one of those weird things where it's not really an investment. Like you said, you're just kind of parking your money there to just to like hold it and
make
keep
sure
it
you
secure.
Still have it.
Right.
It's also very liquid.
That's
another
the other
big point that I make all the time is stocks are great. I'm not saying that I'm not talking negatively or property or real estate, any of it. But the issue is when you invest in that, you can't just get your money out that day or maybe even not even in a week. Usually it's a month or so before you can get your money back out.
Out of what?
A stock market or
no stocks you could get out right away.
Yeah, but how long? But there's repercussions, right?
Depending on
like you're not going to just go down and just sell an ounce of gold.
Right. It depends on the because like E-Trade, for example, when I was messing around day trading or whatever, I'd be able to just hit sell, and then the money is there, and then I transfer it from the account directly into my bank account, and it was instant.
Yeah, but it's a bank to bank though. I guess
this is true.
That's probably what I'm saying. It's
right.
Going into it's not in your hand.
Yes.
That's what I mean by
right.
that. You know what I mean? Maybe I should have rephrased that.
No, I know what you're saying. You're dealing in the physical.
Yeah.
And when it comes to also the people that say that silver and gold is horrible, I'm like, yeah, you probably think it's horrible because you're selling at a loss. You bought at a time where it was high.
It's a long-term investment, right?
Correct. And so, of course, they're going to think it's a crappy investment or a place to put your money if you're selling it at a loss, or you bought in when, silver was at 48 back in 2008.
Yeah, well,
or
I think the same applied with stocks as well.
That's my point. It's like anything. Yeah. You wouldn't be saying that it's horrible if you bought low and now here, like you bought Bitcoin at 2,000 and now it's at 50,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
The other thing I wanted to talk to you about too, because it seems like, knock on wood, right, the bank failures seem to have slowed down. We haven't heard of one in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think the best way that a lot of people have explained it to me is the eye of the storm. You know?
Okay, so we might have a couple bands coming through.
Yeah, that's what I feel. That's kind of where I lean too. Is that you have the summertime, right? So when the summertime rolls around, your economy traditionally will pick up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's people are going on vacation. A lot of people are out spending money. Just when you're out buying things for your yard, you're buying. Whereas the wintertime, things slow down. You know, the economy tends to slow down as well.
Right.
Generally speaking.
Yeah. Now, did you see the news about like the gold that everybody was finding in California, like another gold rush? Wasn't it in California, on the West Coast?
No.
They were saying like Northwest. There's people were finding, in streams and everything. They were actually finding like gold nuggets again. Something to do with just water runoff and
they had
everything.
some serious rains up there. I know this year, and that made a big. Anytime they have flooding up there, it always turns up new gold.
Yeah, and so that's what's like this new craze or whatever. Like there's people now that are getting into panning and all that stuff. And have you ever actually? I meant to ask you because there was a time where you had a lot of gold nuggets. Mm-hmm. And you handed them to me like, hey, do something with these. Can you sell
right.
these?
Yeah, I bought them as an investment and thought that I would, everybody would be excited about them, and it turned out not so much.
It was hard.
It was not easy to move.
Have you ever gone actually panning?
I have not. Well, sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, yes, the answer to that question is yes, but not on a real scale.
Yeah. To me, it seems like
amateur on the very bottom level.
It seems like more of like a waste of time. I'd rather people have already found the gold, melted it down, put it into a nice shiny coin. I'd rather go and pay the premium on it.
I came to the conclusion that when you own a gold store, it comes to you and it's a lot easier.
This is true. You don't have to do the
I can do much more volume sitting here in my chair than I
panning.
could spending 2 weeks in the field.
Yeah. What about going back to silver and gold too? Some of the things I've heard or I've seen over the last few years is like people say that people that buy silver and gold are less savvy investors, or they're not sophisticated, or something along those lines. Would you say that are your customers dummies?